morning, everybody. It's October 8th, 2024. My name is Melissa, and this is my channel about all things cross-stitch in my life. Welcome to another episode of The Crazy Adventure. It's been a good few weeks since I last checked in, and I've been stitching on I Love New England almost exclusively, but I had some fun in Sampler September with a couple new projects. So I have a bunch of stuff to show you today. Stuff I've been working on, and Halloween stuff because 'tis the season. Yeah, and that's kind of where we're at. So this weekend really kind of kicks off my season of retreats. Stitch New England is next week, so this weekend is preparation weekend. So I count it as part of the whole season. I've got that retreat, and then I've got the Stitching at the Farm up in New Hampshire next month. So I'm looking forward to this because I really haven't taken a lot of time off this year, and I need a mental break. I definitely have not had some of the trials and tribulations of some people this year, but it's just been a weird year with a lot of changes in life, and I just need some decompression time. So I am definitely looking forward to retreat season. I hope I am able to relax and enjoy, and I know I won't stitch anywhere near what, I want to while I'm at the retreat, but at least I'll get away and be among my tribe of stitcher people and have a good time. So if you're going to be at either of the retreats, stop by, say hi. I tend to be very shy in person, and I don't want to walk around and interrupt people. It's really because I don't want to interrupt people. And I know that's kind of stupid because you're at a retreat, but that's just me. I have a little bit of social anxiety. So come by, say hi. If you see me walking around, say hi. I would love to meet folks and, trade contacts with you and just be all happy, geeky, stitchy with everybody because, hey, that's what we're there for, right? Anyway, okay. So let me show you what I've been working on because I have been busy, and I have done some of the goals that I set for my last episode. So I Love New England is now in finishing range. I am so psyched. This will get done at Stitch New England next week. I put up a poll last episode of where I should finish it, and it was universally no, ring that bell at the retreat. So I will ring that bell at the retreat. The plan is this week, I just didn't quite get it finished last night, is I'm going to finish the vine over here, get this basket backstitched. There's a little bit of speckling stitching to put in here, and I'm just going to get those little leaves in here so that all I really have to finish at the retreat is the heart right in the center. That's the plan, and then this sucker is done. This is for those who haven't followed this long, winding journey on I Love New England. This is an out-of-print sampler. It's by a shop that used to be in Plymouth, Mass. Called Sampler Needlework. Sadly, no longer there. It was a gorgeous shop. It was a self-printed chart by the shop, and I bought it back there in 2004, maybe? I don't even think I was living here in Providence yet. I think I was still living up in Massachusetts at that point. So, but I fell in love with the sample on the wall, which was stitched on Aida. Mine is on 32 count linen, but absolutely loved it, and it was so pretty up on the wall. So I'm psyched to get this sucker done, and this will go into the biggie next year for the craft display, and we'll see if I win any ribbons. I'm sure I'll win some sort of a ribbon on it, but Best of show, no. But still. I have made a couple of different alterations to this, I should say. I changed this heart because it was kind of a funky color and it was all speckled on the inside and I really didn't like how it looked. So I just made it, you know, a basic applique heart. And then this star, which I still have to finish down here, for some reason the outside stitching of it, I'm wrestling this piece because it's so big now. This star, for some reason, was colored in the same color as the lighter green in the border, and it like disappeared, which I thought was kind of weird, especially when all of the others were, you know, that kind of off green. So I just changed the color so it matched the other squares. Otherwise, it's as charted. But yeah, I mean, you know, there's a color mistake here or there in those letters, but who cares, right? Because that just makes it mine. But I'm happy. I'm really happy with it. And I'm psyched that it's going to be done. This one has been a long journey. I started this before I was pregnant with my son. I started this, let me check my date here. January 2nd, 2012 is when I started this. And then it kind of, I burned out on the border is really what it was. I had like the top of it done and I was starting to work the side and I just could not get myself going. So it got put into timeout and it stayed there for a while. Probably a good 2 years. I kind of tried to take it out and I just wasn't feeling it. So you know what, that's okay. Back into its project bag it goes. And hey, once it finally was its time to come out and shine, it's shown. So don't feel bad if you have to put stuff away, because sometimes it's just not its time. You know, stitching is a journey and every project has its own time. And that time is now for this piece. So yeah, really psyched that that one is almost done. I will enjoy ringing that bell. I've never rung a bell at a retreat before. I've never finished. Well, no, I take that back. Did I finish? No, I did finish a project last year at the farm. That's right, because I was working on an ornament. But it was a little ornament, so I don't feel like that counts. Not like a huge ash piece like this. All right, so coffee. I need coffee this morning. Okay, so in Sampler September, I also had 2 projects that I worked on with the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild. One was a completely brand new start, and one was a start a month before, and I just really hadn't moved that far along. I still haven't, but it'll get there. Like I said, every project has its own time. So I'll show you the new start first, and this one is called Anne Simpson, St. Andrews, 1837, by Old Willow Stitchery. And so this is a reproduction sampler. Isn't it pretty? There's a lot going on here. This is a Scottish sampler. And we had a class in the first weekend of September where we discussed, you know, types of Scottish samplers and whatnot. And then this was the project to work on as kind of a memory of that class. And as always, I have needles like everywhere. So this is my start on it. I actually got a decent start on it for the day. So we're starting from the top corner. The colors are very subtle on this fabric, but it's going to be stunning when it's done. I am stitching this on 40 count baked clay from Fox and Rabbit. All of the floss is like Gentle Arts Weeks. We had an option to do it in NPI silks, but I just decided that I wanted to kind of do it a little more relaxed and not be dealing with silk, even though I know the silk would be stunning. So that's where that is so far. I don't expect to take this back out this year at this point because I've got ornament stitching and I've got a couple other things that I really do want to finish by the end of the year, including like some final finishing. I've got a couple of smaller ornaments that have been like lingering in my stash that I'm just like, I just need to sit down and finish them. They're stitched. They just need to be finished so I can put them on the tree. And I want to put something together for my mom, you know, so for a Christmas gift. So this probably won't come out again until next year, but that's okay. And it will, next year there'll be a whole lot of sampler love going on in my house because I've realized just how many samplers I have going between reproduction samplers and just random samplers and long dogs and they sinned, and yeah, I got a whole lot to do, which will be awesome. So that's that piece. All right, the other one that I worked on with the Tudor Rose Sampler Guild, this is the one that I started in August. We started this August 1st, and this is called Mary Foch by Running with Needles and Scissors. This is not released yet, but will be at market next spring. So if you're interested in this one, just wait a few months and it will be available. But that is what it looks like. And we're getting this digitally, which is why I have it on a piece of paper. So that's the whole sampler. She was 8. I know, right? This one, I got a little adventurous with my floss when I requested the kit, and I'm doing it on 46 count oatmeal. 46 count oatmeal from Fibers on a Whim. And so it's tiny, but here's what it looks like so far. I'm having a little bit of a trouble getting into a groove with it, but you know, I'll get there. We're meeting every month on like the first Thursday of the month for just a little stitch along, and so it's been coming out during that, and again, I probably will get going on this more next year, but at least for now, it's going to come out in November, and it'll come out in December for our stitch-alongs, and then we'll see where I am for next year. But eventually, I think once I get like this first section border in where I have a decent frame for like eye reference, I think then it's going to get better. Plus, once you start getting into all these fun little motifs with all the colors, I think it'll move a lot faster. I'm just in those like early days where you're just trying to get the project set up, where it's like, all right, where am I going? And I always struggle with that. I don't know what it is. When I'm starting a project, it always starts super slowly, and then once I find my path to go around the piece, then I feel better, and then it moves faster. But until then, it's like, come on, what's wrong with me? So, but that's where that is. We'll move right along. All right. And the only other piece I've been working on, and this has just kind of been in the last week, because I've been doing Humans vs. Zombies on Black Needle Society, and failing miserably, I might add. I was turned into a zombie very quickly, and then I just, I'm too slow of a stitcher for those kind of races. I just am. I should know better by now, but whatever. So I got zombified, and I think today I finally, perish as a zombie, because I just cannot move my butt. But I figured, I'll work on something that has just... It's funny, if I had I Love New England that wasn't that far along, I'd totally be running that border for this race, because then I don't have to count. But that's already done. So I decided to work on Bayonne Cat, Cat Bayoon by Owl Forest Embroidery. And it's also technically kind of Halloweeny because as cute as this cat is, the mythology, it's a bit of a monster. So it kind of works for Halloween stitching, even though it's much more of a wintry scene there. But yeah, this was the box it came in, which is why it's like, it's so attractive, isn't it? But that's my picture. So that's what that looks like. And I've had this going now. I started this as my New Year's start in 2022. So it's, but you know, I've been focusing on other things. So that's where this is. So I've been working the tail. It's getting there. This, I know this is 32 count Belfast. I don't know the color because it came as a kit. But it's kind of a nice neutral with a, we have a lot of people that drive around in little, you know, scooters and stuff around here. Anyway, hopefully you didn't hear that too much. So this is 32 count. It's got a little bit of a yellowish tinge, but it's a very pretty neutral. The flosses came with the kit. Owl Forest Embroidery does their own dyeing, and they have beautiful flosses. They have a really neat variation and variegation in the colors that is just super, super pretty. So that's where that is. This will come back out this year. I kind of, even though I've been stitching slowly, I'm kind of finding myself in a groove on this one. So I'm wondering, I may bring this to Stitch New England. If not, it's definitely coming to the farm. It's an easy one to stitch on. It's easy to see. So I think it would be a fun one to, and it's got color, so it's just kind of happy. Even though, you know, the cat's actually a deadly monster who, like, eats people. But, yeah. So I've been working on that. Just a little bit. Not a lot. But that is probably coming with me to one of the retreats, because it's just a nice piece to stitch on, and something that's, you know, happy and not, like, plodding while you're talking with everybody. And once I get going on that, I actually get a good rhythm going. So we shall see. So that's what I've been working on. So now it's Halloween season. And so I've pulled out a couple, well, like 3 or 4 of my Halloween pieces, which I may or may not work on this month. A couple of them are definitely coming to Stitch New England with me, and I would really like to do some serious damage on a couple of them. And a couple others I'm not sure yet, but I'll probably at least put some seasonal work on them. So the first is Fly By Night from Silver Creek Samplers. I absolutely love this piece. I don't know what it is, but it's so super cute. And I got that in, let's see, in the 2021 Black Needle Trick or Treat box. I've had it, I knew I'd had it for a little while. And I started it like on New Year's Eve that year. This is on 18 count Hazelwood, which is an absolutely stunning Aida. And so soft. And as you can see, I'm in decent shape. I just have got that moon to tackle. But otherwise, this one isn't really going to be that difficult. So I think this is definitely coming to Stitch New England with me. And after I get I Love New England done, this might be the piece I really focus on for the retreat. Could I get 2 things done in a weekend? I don't think so. I don't think I could get quite that much done. But I could probably make a really good dent on this one. So that's where that is. This one is entirely in DMC. There's nothing fancy going on here as far as floss goes. And they gave me a ton of fabric, so I'm going to have a nice amount to figure out something else to do. But this is like the softest Ada I've ever touched. I'm so used to like the starched within an inch of its life Ada that you would get like in Dimensions kits back in the 80s and the 90s. So to feel Ada fabric that's like flexible, I'm like, ooh. So yeah, that's that. So yes, you'll see me working on that at Stitch New England if you happen to see me there. Next up, and I don't have a sheet to write this down because this technically isn't mine. This one is my son's, and he bought it, I think, right after we were at the Big E in 22, I think it's 22. And I pointed out that, you know, he's young enough, he could enter something in the fair, and he's almost guaranteed to win a first place medal just because there's not a lot of kids that enter stuff into the fair, and especially not in cross stitch. And he was really excited by that. So we went over to the Stitch New England shop and said hi to Pam, and I let him pick out a piece. And I was like, you know, we'll do fabric and floss from my stash because I got tons, but you can pick out a chart that you want to stitch. And so he came up with this absolutely adorable one from Luminous Fiber Arts, Hocus Pocus. Pretty simple, you know. I mean, maybe it's a little big for a little kid, but I figured, all right. But it's got very simple, blocky stuff, and you know, should be fun to stitch. And of course, it's all cute stuff, so perfect for a kid. Well, he got a line. That's all he did, and he got bored. And I don't think he's ever going to touch it again. So I need to ask him, but I may just... I'll see if he's going to come back to it, but I doubt it. Because he is now in his middle school years and hell-bent on, you know, being a middle schooler, and stuff that mom does is lame. And... the guy's he's just driving around the neighborhood. Fabulous. Yeah, anyway, so I don't think he's coming back to this, so this may become mine. I don't know, but it's cute and it's simple. So if he's not going to stitch it, I'll either start stitching on it this year, or you know, I'll put it away for a year and kind of prod him again. But I think this has been adopted by me now. Fabric is from my stash, but like I said, I didn't have a thing written up on this, so I really should put one together for it. I'm pretty sure that in a previous episode I may have shown this, so I might have to go and review my episodes. So there's that one. Okay, another one that will definitely get excuse me, a little bit of work this year. Probably not come to the retreat just because it's on darker fabric, so the lighting issue at retreats. This was also from the same Trick or Treat box. This is Baba Yaga from Autumn Lane, which is so far outside of my normal stitching style, but it's definitely witchy and kind of fun and a little different. So that is the project. And it will use up some of my Cone of Doom. I still have my big black Cone of Doom for DMC Black. So I'm just working right off of that cone for all of that black on the front. This one is on 32 count Catacombs from Bestitch Me, which is just a funky color. Look at this. So I just have, do I have this facing? Yes, I do have this facing the right way. I need to make sure that the one skull is hanging down correctly. So this is just like where the hut is standing on, that's where this is here. Haven't done a ton on it, obviously, but this one, now that, again, that I love New England, which has just been a mental block for me, now that that's getting done, I feel like I'll be doing a flurry of different stitching projects. This is in the Charted DMC, and crazy fabric. I love it. It definitely has that murky, swampy look to it, doesn't it? So yeah, so that one won't come to a retreat, but I definitely will be working on it seasonally here at the house. All right, and the last piece I have for Halloween, and this is not my last Halloween piece around here. I just wanted to pick out stuff that I haven't really worked on in a while, and also stuff that, with the exception of Baba Yaga, because that one's going to take a while, stuff that's smaller that I, in theory, actually could really put a good dent in it this year. This is from the Witchy Stitcher. This is Ghost Stories. She's so cute. I would like to point out that this is the only Witchy Stitcher piece that I have come across that does not actually use DMC 310. It used Weeks Dye Works instead. It does not actually use the Code of Doom. And if you know the Witchy Stitcher, that actually is something you have to point out. But it's a cute little piece. This also came in that same Trick or Treat box from Black Needle. And I started them all kind of roughly around the same time. So this is on 32 count Fright Night from Fortnite Fabrics. And that's what I have done on him. There's a mix of weeks on here. There is some DMC, right? Yeah, there's some DMC. Yeah, but it's just a cute little piece. I have a ton of the fabric in it. It's an awesome fabric, and yes, it's gray and orange. Really, once it gets done, I'll have another great cut of it to do something other Halloween-y on. There's really nothing else you could do for this. Well, you could do anything autumn-y on this, I guess. But it really is just a Halloween piece of fabric. So, this also I might bring to Stitch New England. But I'm not sure yet. Maybe. I think, though, that I probably will focus on Flying Lesson, just because with it being on Ada, it's just an easy stitch to do at a retreat, and that's another one that I can get that sucker done this year and have a couple of really nice, happy finishes. So, yeah, that's that one. So, not a ton. I've got several other Halloween pieces, but realistically, how much can I do in a season? Even this is a lot. And I probably will only work on a couple of them, but that's the group I'm taking out for this year to select from. I have one other piece that I will be working on, and that one I'm going to be working on this weekend so that I can trade it off with one of my friends at the retreat. This is a piece that was started by one of the stitchers in my local stitching group. Sharon passed away last year, and she was a prolific stitcher, and also had prolific stash, like many of us. And her daughter, Kim, has grabbed this piece to have all of us whoever wants to work on it, to finish this one up for her. So this is the C in Conchiglia. I apologize, I don't speak Italian. From Core e Betacore. Very, very cute little piece. So, and this is where it is as of right now when I get it. So it's got a decent amount done. And I haven't decided where I'm going to work yet, but I will start working on this weekend and get a little bit of it done to put my touch on it. According to notes, let's see, it is on Tea-dyed even weave 28 count by Charles Craft. Or wait, maybe not. Oh, it may be on flax, actually. See, it's funny when you use somebody else's notations of what they... Oh, I see. These were her alternates. So, yeah. So, it's on flax. It's on 28 count. But, yeah. So, I will... Oop, now it's upside down. But, you know, it'll be nice just to have all of us put some stitches in on it, and then Kim will have it both as a memory for her mom and also just a collection piece from all of us. Kind of like the round robins I used to do back in the day, but local with friends. So, but yeah, I want to get a little bit done on that. So, because I'm going to see a bunch of the group at the retreat in person, so that the next person can work on it. Because I've now had this for a couple of months, and I really need to get some work on it. I've just been so focused on other stuff that it's like, oh yeah, I probably should do some work on that and not let it linger here. But yeah, so that's my stitching journey lately, and it's going to be a nice few weeks with friends and stitching, and the weather's getting, very autumny here. It's like 50 degrees this morning. It's chilly. But it's time for cozy. And it's time to curl up on the couch and stitch, and I am looking forward to it. So that is all I have for this episode, and I will see you after Stitch New England. I will be taking a little bit of video while I'm there, so I'll kind of do a recap episode the week following the retreat, so those of you who aren't able to go can enjoy it a little bit. Yeah, and I will see you next time. Take care all. Have a good week. Bye.